Hi everyone, this video is going to be an introduction to coding and the Inclusive Human Learning Group, and yeah, just a bit of a walkthrough of what that looks like. So I do have a step-by-step here if you're referring to this video later in the semester, but this one's going to be more of an in-depth walkthrough. So first things first, with coding, it's super important to refer to the weekly email sent by Dr. Hrushka. So you won't be able to do anything if you don't look at this. So it's always going to have the week, a little bit of a description of what the activity is, and two attachments. So the first attachment that I want to look at is the code book for the week because I need to know my team and my ethnicities that I've been assigned for the week to code. So I'm going to open the code book. It's going to have the date, some further instructions, and then when it gets to the teams, I'm going to look for my name. Okay, so I see Kelsey Dwyer, team 3. Now I know I'm on team 3. So I'm going to go back to the weekly email and open the weekly spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet, where is it? Going to look something like this. So very important. I know I'm on team 3. So I'm going to go on the left-hand side here. All right, team 3, we're doing Zambia this week. And I can see that these are the 4 ethnic groups that I've been assigned to code for the week. We have this handy dandy little slider here to help you keep your place while you're coding. But all right, so I can see, I'll start with the Lala since that's the first ethnicity given for team 3 here. So I can see percent of population. Okay, so the Lala make up 3.1% of Zambia's population. And I can see their Glottolog code. So Glottolog is a super helpful resource for us to get some context on the language and some related languages. So I like to have this bookmarked, Glottolog, and Dr. Hrushka will always give you the code. So Glottolog code, LALA1265. All I have to do here is just enter this in here, LALA1265. And here you'll be able to see some context. So, all right, dialect, Lala, also known as the Lala Biza. That's going to be really helpful for me if I'm searching for information and the Lala Biza comes up. I know that they're related and that they might be referred to as that. So I'm looking. All right, here we go. I can see some related languages. This just really helps to give context. You can look more in depth. So now that I've looked at that, I can start the coding process. So you'll see here, forced away time, lethal violence, ethnocide, and it goes all the way down. So all of the codes in the code book will be sent to you every week on this same document where you found your team. So if you ever have a question about what a code really means, you don't know something fits the code, you're all good because you have all of them right here for you. Of course, it's okay to have questions and bring questions to the lab, but this is here to help you as you're coding throughout the week. So you're going to look for forced away. Let's say you found some information, you want to put yes. You also have to include the time for forced away, so the time period that's given. But just as an example, I'm going to do ethnocide here. I'm going to code that. So just to show you how that works. So ethnocide, we have the description here, some exclusions, and yeah, so this is not a concrete example, but just to give you guys a little bit of an idea. I found something about the Lala community in Zambia, that there's several factors affecting community identity and their way of life. So let's say I think that this is a yes, that the Lala have experienced ethnocide. I would put a Y, but that's not all I'm gonna do because at some point in the semester, somebody's gonna look at this document. It's likely not gonna be you, and they're gonna try to write a case study for the Lala experiencing ethnocide. So it's really important to include our source to make it easier for that next person, and just understand why somebody coded yes. So there is some resources in the Google Drive about how to copy the link to text, but here you're just going to highlight, copy link to selected text. And because I coded a yes, I need to put my source here. So I'm going to put paste. Awesome. Now that person will have the information there. And that won't go throughout the whole thing once you keep filling out the document. So there you go. And yeah, so you're just going to do that same thing all throughout. If you didn't find anything, let's say, no, I didn't find any information on the Lala for sexual assault. Just a simple no. You don't have to put any comments there if you didn't find anything. Keep going through. We have all of the codes. Again, all of these are in that document. And then the last sections are overall comments. So these are just things like, maybe you want to bring it up to your team, something that you weren't sure about or an issue you had that you don't want to forget, you can put there. And then very important, the data quality portion. Data quality, this is where we put our 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3. So 1 out of 3, if hey, I didn't really find much, or these aren't reliable sources, but I still wanted to include what I found, or 3 out of 3, these are all peer-reviewed journal articles and there's so much information on this. And then just any comments. So you're going to do that. Then you finished just the first group, Lala. Next, you have the other 3 ethnic groups that you've been assigned. So make sure you're only paying attention to your team, the team that you're assigned to. You're going to leave the rest of this all blank here at the top. That is not something that you need to worry about for the week. And then before turning this in to us, you're going to rename it. So my name's Kelsey Dwyer. So I might put KD week 2, team 3. And then you're going to go into your Google Drive, go into the files, and submit that to your team. And that will be available for your team members to see, for us to see, so that, we can put them all together and see what your similarities were and just kind of talk about some bumps in the road that might come up. And very important. So of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me or the lab liaisons and lab leaders. But if you're unsure, you can always bring your questions to the next week's lab meeting, and hopefully this was helpful. Thanks.